to the co-op gaming arena. My name is Coach Ben. We're here tonight on this chilly Thursday on the eve of Sabotage 3. Very exciting. We are going to be talking about special movement today. It is kind of a simple subject. I'm not going to recreate the wheel or anything here. This isn't Civilization. But I think that this is a really important subject to talk about thoroughly from a practical perspective, because a lot of people have a base level understanding of special movement, but they don't apply it correctly, or they aren't able to consistently use it in bracket because it's not practiced properly. So this, if you really want to understand the definition of kind of some of these terms, there's a Smash Wikipedia page. I don't feel like I need to spend a lot of time explaining these ideas. Instead, I want to really focus more on what they mean and then go straight into how to train for them. I think it's more useful every time. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started here. What is special movement? Special movement is really straightforward, right? It consists of three general techniques. There's B reversing, turnarounds, and wave bouncing. So what are those? What do they mean anyway? This is kind of where I have to diverge a little bit, because everybody, you can just call everything B reversing, turnarounds, and wave bouncing, but it's a big mouthful, right? You have to put commas in there. It's 40 letters. It's too much. Special movement makes a lot more sense because you're moving with your specials. Okay, so it's really important that you understand how this works. I already explained this to somebody else earlier, but I'm going to explain it to you again here. You have to know how to do these things, because even if your character doesn't benefit from them, if you understand how to do them, you will know how to play against them better. And if you want to understand how to deal with these tools, you need to understand how to do them yourself. And that's kind of the theme of all this, is to give you an understanding of how to do it, and then teach you how to go into training mode and practice it yourself so that you become a capable person at these things. And at that point, you'll understand what they do. Beautiful. Okay. This I think, is kind of the crux of it, right? When you are trying to move with a special button, everything comes down to when the inputs happen. It's very important that you are precise when you are involving all of this, and it comes down to frames. I want to kind of clarify this specifically, that if you look at my very high-tech diagram here, you have some purple boxes, and this red circle with a B on it. So the B button is very clearly represented here. But we also have these rectangles. These rectangles represent time, specifically frames. So the B button by itself is whatever frame you press the B button. And the rectangles that are on the left of it are representing the frames in time before the B input. And the rectangles afterwards obviously represent time afterwards. And so the words that I have here kind of reflect that. If you do a directional input before your B press, you are inputting a turnaround. If you do a B reverse input here after the B press, you are doing a B reverse. And if you are doing a wave bounce, you are required to do both. This is it. It doesn't get more complicated than that. I could literally turn off the video right now if my only goal was to tell you what the words meant. But again, that's not the purpose of what we're doing here today. So we're going to jump straight into all of this, right? Again, if you want to hear a longer-winded understanding of what B reversing, turnarounds, and wave bouncing are, you can just look it up on the Smash Wikipedia. You just type in B reversing. There's 15 paragraphs about everything. You could read it till you want to die. Okay, so let's go into the game, and we're going to go to the training mode. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start working through some of these drills. And I'm just going to demonstrate them today. I'm not going to do anything interactive because I want to kind of get through all of it and be done. So let's pick a character with a good B reverse for a neutral B. I think a good one to start with is Mario. Everybody knows who Mario is. He's a plumber. He has an estranged relationship with his brother. Popular guy, Everybody knows who Mario is. Very famous side character in the Sonic at the Olympic series. Are we good? Okay. Hello, King K. Rool. Oh, he's mashing. Hold on. Let me fix that. Stop mashing. Stop mashing on me, King K. Rool. Ow. Okay. Stop it. Why are you mashing? Are you done? Thank you. There we go. Okay. So let's start with the basics, right? When we look at our little chart here, we're going to go kind of in order. And these aren't necessarily in order of difficulty. I just want to visually show you what each one looks like as we do them. So first we're going to do B reverse to the left, right? We're facing right, and we're going to, again, press B and then do a directional input. And we're going to do this in frame by frame. Let's see if this works. So we're going to jump. We're going to press B on this frame. Okay? We pressed B. Uh-oh. My controller has snapback. Fun. So we're going to press B on this frame. Okay, he is in frame 1 of a fireball. If I let time move forward, he will shoot a fireball. The next frame, it can be right afterwards. I am letting go of B. This is the important part. You have to let go of B sometimes. And then you input left. I want to turn left, so I will input left. So I'm going to hold left, and then I'm going to let time advance. And nothing happened for a couple of frames, but you'll notice at a certain point of the animation, he turned around. And again, if we look at Mario, once I let time flow free, he's drifting to the left. So here's what this looks like in full time. In fact, you know what? I think I'm going to do this in slow-mo. That makes more sense. So he's jumping. I B, and then I turn around. And you can see the fireball start, and then his character flips, right? You can see the animation happen in real time. The fireball animation starts, he turns around. Great. So looking at the PowerPoint, we now have B reverse to the right. We're just doing these in order, right? I'm not only explaining what these are, but I'm outlining a practice regimen on how to do these yourselves. So now we're going to B reverse to the right. I'm facing left. I jump, I press B, and then if I do these buttons on the same frame, a side B comes out, so don't do that. But if I press B and then turn, I get this turnaround. Now there's a limit to this. You have to press B with it, or sorry, you have to input your directional input within a few frames of the B button. Because if I press B and then wait, it's too late. You can't B reverse. B reverses, turnarounds, and wave bounces have to be inputted within, I believe, like it's 3 to 5 frames. It's not very many. It's a small window. It's very consistent, but it's close, right? You press B and then you instantly press the directional input. B reverse to the left. B reverse to the right. Okay, now we're going to try some different ones here. Our next one is B reverse jumping forwards. It's really straightforward. I'm going to speed it up a little bit now since people are kind of understanding what the graphic is doing. So we're going to jump forwards, and we're going to B reverse. That was easy. What's our next one? We're going to B reverse jumping backwards. So this one's kind of interesting, right? So Mario's going to jump backwards, and then he's going to B reverse and still be going backwards while shooting a fireball. So how is this useful? Good question. So there's a lot of different ways that you could do this. You could approach and then B reverse a fireball. So you can so Mario's back air, right? His back air is a lot more scary than his nair. So you can approach facing with your back, and then you can B reverse to still space yourself away from your opponent. Right? Very big difference between this. Oh, I'm not safe at all. If King K. Rool blocked that, I would be in some pain. But like this, I'm relatively safe. Right? I'm relatively safe. Okay, cool. Next thing, B reverse at the apex of your jump. This one's pretty straightforward. You just want to wait until Mario is here, the highest point of his jump, and then you B reverse. Right? We're now working on timings. Very easy. So why does timing matter? Well, let me show you this first. So if I'm here and I jump and I B reverse at my apex, I should land where I jumped from. Make sense? I'm B reversing at the apex of my jump. Okay, the next one we're going to B reverse early. I want you to see the difference this makes in where you land. So we're going to B reverse early this time. Huge difference in where you end up landing, right? We're going to do the same thing now, but B reverse late. So the time at which you B reverse drastically alters where you land and the space that your projectile or whatever your button you're pressing controls. So it's really important that when you're practicing this stuff that you are practicing timings as well, because the ultimate goal is control. Control over your movement, control over your character. We're going to move on to turnaround drills. This is really simple as well. So now we're going to do turnarounds. B reverses, you hit the directional input after B. Turnarounds are the opposite. You have to input the direction before the special input, and this is the important part. You cannot be holding your direction and press special at the same time. So you have to press the direction, let go, and then input your special. All within a 3 to 5 frame window. It's not big. Okay, let's get to it. So we're going to turn around facing left. First, I'm going to show you what this looks like. We're going to go super, super slow, and I'm going to show it by Mario jumping forward. So we want to do a turnaround. We want to change his direction, but not the way he's drifting. So we're going to jump, input the turnaround, input the special. Turnaround, and then special. Turnaround, and then special. Hello, come on. There we go. So Mario is still drifting to the right, but his direction has altered. This is a turnaround. Go into the frame-by-frame mode. Again, we're going to just break it down for you. Right here, at this point, smash the stick to the left. Okay, the game has accepted one frame of smash to the left input. I let go of the stick, and then I press B. He turns around. That's it. And you'll notice this time that when you do a turnaround, Mario turns around immediately when you press B, right? It's not like with the B reverse where a couple of frames happened and then he turned around. Turnarounds are instant. That's a B reverse. That's a turnaround. Okay, let's do some drills. We're going to turn around facing to the left and to the right. That's easy. And we're going to slow it down just so that we're making sure we're doing it. So we're going to turn around facing left. We're retreating with our fireball. We're retreating with our fireball. Super easy. Okay, our next one here, we're going to turn around drifting forwards and then turn around drifting backwards. So here's a forward drift. Turn around. Easy. Okay, this time we're going to be facing away, and we're going to jump backwards and then turn around. So we're going to keep going in the direction that we're drifting, but we're going to face forward. Cake. And this is really nice, like, for example, if I'm in shield like this, I can approach with a special button even if my back is turned to my opponent. That is the utility of this. I don't have to be facing my opponent to hit them with a special move. Oh, hello. Etc. Okay, let's look at our next one. Turning around early at the apex and late in the jump. These are kind of repetitive, right? I'm not doing different things. I'm doing the same things. And that's because all three of these things, B reversing, turnarounds, and wave bounces, they're all basically the same thing, right? They're just combinations of each other. And the goal is control. So we just go through the paces. We do it in all the different situations. So now we're going to turn around early in the jump. Now we're going to turn around at the apex of the jump. Now we're going to turn around late in the jump. And again, it drastically changes where your fireball actually goes when you change the timing. And so if you're wondering why your turnarounds or your wave bounces aren't working and professional players are, you need to be looking at the timing of your wave bounces and your turnarounds and your B reverses, and you need to be looking at when inside their jump they do it. Because a lot of times you have to do an early or apex B reverse or turnaround or whatever for your move to come out. And other times the late one is what's necessary to make it safe. Each situation is different. Okay, we're going to move on here. We're going to go on to our third category. We have wave bouncing. This is when the turnaround and the B reverse are combined. It's not complicated, but it's technical, and we have to practice it. Let's go through some drills. So wave bouncing facing the left, right? And let's talk about what a wave bounce is first. So again, we're going to turn around and then do a B reverse. That's all a wave bounce is. You're doing both. So to do both, what do we have to do? We have to do a directional input before the special and a directional input after the special. That's it. That's all we're doing. 2 inputs instead of 1. It's not a big deal. Okay, so we're in the game. We're going to wave bounce, right? We're going to wave bounce a fireball. So what does that look like? A wave bounce, it should be our momentum changes, but not the direction. Oh. I should jump towards the King K rule, and then I should start drifting backwards instead of forwards, but I'm still facing him. That's not a B reverse, or that's not a wave bounce. That's not a wave bounce. Hello. There we go. Okay, and again, in frame-by-frame mode. turn around first. Okay, the game has accepted my directional input. I press B. We're turned around. Now at this point, we're going to release B, and we are going to input the B reverse. Mario turns around, and he's drifting left. All we've done is put these two things together. Okay, so we're at 2/3 speed, right? We're starting to get comfortable with how these things look, and we're going to go through some of these drills. So we're going to do facing left and right. Here's facing left. Cool, and the idea is I should be able to jump and land where I jumped from, but still be facing the same direction. I'm jumping forward, but drifting backwards while still shooting a forward fireball. That is a wave bounce. Okay, let's do that facing the other direction. And it's easier at slow speed. This stuff can be practiced in training mode with the timer slowed down like this, 2/3, 1/2, 1/4 speed. So if you're not good at doing this at full speed, do it in slow motion and then work up to tempo at tournament speed. Okay, so our next two here, that we have wave bounce jumping forward and wave bounce jumping backwards. Again, this is super simple, right? We're going to jump forward, we're going to wave bounce. Easy. Okay, now we're going to wave bounce backwards. And the inputs are kind of weird, right? I want you to sit here and expand your brain with me, right? So when we're going forwards, we want to do left, B, right. Left, B, right, in that order, on different frames. Left, B, right. It is reversed when we are facing the other way. Right, B, left. The inputs mirror themselves when you change direction. This is why my drill has you practice in both directions. Do these exercises facing the left and facing the right, because you have to be able to be ambidextrous, for lack of a better word. You have to be equally good at doing it on both sides of you, because otherwise you're going to have a weak side, and that makes you a worse player competitively. Okay, so let's now talk about wave bouncing backwards. So when we wave bounce backwards, it's the same thing, right? We jump backwards, I tap the direction I want to turn the character around, which is left. Okay, the game takes the left input. I press B, the turnaround is inputted. Now we do the B reverse, which is the direction that you were not turning around in. We input right. Now, if I was facing this way, if I was facing forward and I jump forward, I'm not inputting the same things. The direction of the character dictates this. So when I'm facing forward, I have to go back forward. But if I'm approaching with my back turned, I have to do forward back. The inputs are dependent on the direction that you're facing and not necessarily the direction that you're traveling, for specifically wave bounces. As long as you always remember to start your wave bounce by inputting a direction facing away from you, you will not forget. So if I'm facing this way, right, and I want to jump backwards, what is my first input? Crowd feedback. If I'm facing left, okay, if I'm facing left and I'm holding shield, and I want to jump backwards and then wave bounce, what's the order of the inputs? Okay, so let's not do backwards and forwards, let's do left and right. Right, so I'm facing left. I'm going to jump backwards. To do the turnaround, I have to do the opposite of the direction I'm facing, which is right. So I hold right. Okay, 2 frames happened. The game accepts that I have pressed right. I release right. The B button is pressed. This is the middle of our diagram. And then, to complete the wave bounce, we turn it in whatever direction we didn't press the first time. It seems banal for me to just repeat that over and over and over again, but you're going to forget if you don't practice. And you're not going to understand how these work if you don't drill them. So it's really important that you take some time and think about that. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple of different ones of these, and we're going to do an exercise real quick before we move on. I'm going to do one, and I want the crowd to tell me what kind of input I did. So I want you to be able to visually recognize whether I did a B reverse, a turnaround, or a wave bounce, based on what's happening. Okay, so I'll let you go first, Lance. I'm going to do one, and then I want you to tell me what I did. That was a turnaround, all right? Your turn, it's Sean, right? Okay, here we go. I'm going to do one, and I want you to tell me what I did. A B reverse, right? Because my momentum and my direction changed. Okay. I'm still working with names, right? Let's go with you next. What's up? Josiah, right? I'm working on it. Okay. Sorry, I'm under pressure, guys. I'm normally better about this. I'm in the moment. I'm going to do one randomly, and I want you to tell me what I'm doing. That's a B reverse. Okay. Micah? It's a wave bounce, right? And, like, again, it's not hard, but it's technical. And these are perishable skills. If you don't practice them, you're not going to be able to do them. But if you do them, you'll be able to recognize which ones they are, and you'll be able to understand what your opponent is doing. And vastly more importantly, if you play a character that relies on these buttons to function, it is a must-have, right? So now we're going to move to a character that one of my players plays, Link. This character has a side B, and we're going to talk about side specials a little bit, right? Obviously, this slide is very almost completely empty, but it does say one thing. It says that the directional button and the B button are held at the same time during these inputs, and that's the only difference. Side specials are not scary to wave bounce. Don't overthink it. So we're in game with Link. He's very handsome. He's a hero of Hyrule. Does he have his Sheikah slate? He does. He's ready to go. So we're going to do some side special movement, right? So first we're going to do the B reverse, right? And that's, again, both his momentum and his direction will change. So I should face away from Wii Fit Trainer and jump away from her, and then B reverse, I will land on top of her, and the boomerang will hit her. So let me show you what happens when I do this, but I don't hold the B button through the directional press. I'm still doing a B reverse. Don't get me wrong. I'm still doing a B reverse, but I'm no longer doing a side special. The side special only happens when you hold the directional input, when you hold the special button through the directional input. So right here, I press B. No, I don't. I hold forward first. I hold forward to input the side B. So I input the side B first. Okay, I input the side B. Now I B reverse. You have to be holding forward right up to the point where you press the B button, and then you can press left. Oh, that was an up B. Right here, you press B, the boomerang starts, you turn around. Cake. Cool. What about turnarounds? So this is where Link wants to throw the boomerang but run away. That's easy enough, right? What we're going to do here is very deliberate. Very deliberate. We're going to jump away, right? We're going to jump away, and then what we're going to do is we're going to let go of the stick long enough to let things reset. Because remember, that 3 to 5 second window, or 3 to 5 frame window, is important for B reverses and turnarounds. So you have to let go of the stick for at least a couple of frames so the turnaround can be inputted. So now what we're going to do is we're going to input side B in the direction we want to throw it, and then we continue to drift to the right. Except when you press it too early like this, he still does the wave bounce. So turning around with side special is actually kind of hard. You have to release to neutral for a couple frames, and then now that you're drifting comfortably, you input the side B. But you can't hold the other direction after you input it. There we go. So I'm going to press side special right here, and then I'm not going to hold forward to keep drifting. I'm just going to let the character drift, and then after a couple of frames, when the wave bounce window elapses, then you can keep drifting forward. So this isn't always the best option because, like, you can't hold away anymore because if you do, you input a wave bounce. So it kind of kills your drifting a little bit. Like, retreating turnaround side B is not very good. It's really not. It's kind of difficult and not super worth it. So wave bouncing, right? The last step. We're going to combine everything all at once. We're going to jump away. Okay, and we're going to follow our steps very straightforward. What's our first step? The turnaround, right? Okay, so we're going to do the turnaround first, and we're going to hold right. Okay, we've held right for one frame. The game has accepted our input. And now we're going to input the side B. This is the weird part. This is the weird part, guys. We're going to tap away to turn around, and then we're going to let go of the directional stick and repress the directional stick and B to input a side B separate from the turnaround. Okay, so now I've pressed side B separately from the turnaround, and then I complete the wave bounce. Now, this is really convoluted. You don't actually have to do it. I just wanted to demonstrate that it is possible to technically do the right thing, but side B wave bounces are actually easier than wave bounce neutral Bs. They are. You just jump away. I'm holding away. I press B. The side B turns you around. I don't need to do a turnaround. The side B does it. I complete the wave bounce. Right? Don't overthink it. Now, wave bounce neutral B for comparison, I do have to input a turnaround and release the L stick to complete the input. But for side specials, it's not the case. I jump. I do hold away, B button, hold in. Let me do it again. Hold in, hold away, press B, turn, wave bounce. Easy peasy. And that works no matter which way I'm facing. I hold away, I press B, I wave bounce. Super cake. Okay. Why is this useful? Well, there's a couple of reasons with Link specifically. I can jump away out of danger and then return with a wave bounce. Link leaves the scary situation and only comes back when the boomerang returns. Super good. Most high-level Links abuse this tactic. Another one is if I'm throwing boomerang, but I don't want to I'm scared and I don't want to be hurt. But I'm jumping towards them because I'm threatening Nair. Well, you can wave bounce backwards. Right? And we got to kind of flip the script on this one, right? We got to think about what these inputs actually are. So we're jumping towards them. I want to turn around, and then I want to input a wave bounce. So we're going to turn around, and how we turn around? We hold away. So I'm going to hold away and press B. Okay, now I'm doing a turnaround, side B. I complete the wave bounce by holding away again. The new away. Don't overthink it. Oh, I didn't complete my wave bounce fast enough. There we go. Come on, you. There we go. And all I'm doing is I'm, using this fancy technique, and all I'm doing is I'm giving Link half of a unit of extra space compared to this. But you know what? That extra half of space is literally the difference between you getting punished and you not. And so these techniques are important when you play these kinds of characters. And so we can actually use this with other specials as well, like down specials. I think it kind of expands the meta on some characters. So for my last example before I'm done, I'm going to show you kind of some examples of what all this can be done with down special. Because that's kind of the last one that really has these specifications. So everybody understands that Donkey Kong can turn around in the air with his down B, right? It's like a thing. He does the Kong slap, and then he turns around, and you're like, oh, I didn't think he was going to be there. And then you get hit and die, and it sucks. So what some Japanese Donkey Kongs like to do with the character, for example, is even if I'm sitting in front of you, right? Even if I'm sitting in front of you, I can jump away. Oh, hello. I'm going to jump away, and we're going to jump away so that you can't take advantage of Donkey Kong being big, right? That's the goal. We're going to jump away so that you can't oh, come on, slow-mo. Okay, I'm going to do half. So we're going to jump away to avoid getting hit as big Donkey Kong. But then afterwards, we want to come back in and punish them. But the problem is if I do a B reverse. Oh, hello, come on. So here's the problem. If I jump backwards and I B reverse, the hand slap's not facing them. But I'm not always facing away from them. If I'm holding shield and they hit my shield this way, I can jump forward and B reverse out of shield and Kong slap without being right on top of them like this. That whole time during the startup, Donkey Kong is right in front of them and they can get hit. But like this, if I'm facing away, I can B reverse and leave the area and then come back in and use conch slap, right? And it's a little bit harder, but it is possible to wave bounce facing them in shield. So I'm going to jump backwards, pretending I'm in shield. So I'm jumping backwards. Okay, let's go through the steps together, right? Turn around. Hold away. Okay, the game accepts my input. And then I'm going to press down B. Okay, I press down B. And then what do? I complete the turner, or I complete the B reverse. Now, when does the turnaround stop? You'll notice that Donkey Kong did not actually turn around. That's weird. It's supposed to be instant. Let's try again. So I'm holding away. Okay, the game understands that I held away, and then I press down. But no turnaround comes out. So this is kind of the weird part about this, right? You have to, like, directionally do it. So how am I doing this? Good question. I'm holding diagonally down away. It kind of sucks how hard it is. I have to not only jump away, but then I have to hold down and away at the same time, because for down specials, you cannot input a turnaround without doing it on the same frame. So now I'm going to hold down and away, and the turnaround is executed because the turnaround has to be inputted like a down-angled side special, essentially. And now that Donkey Kong is turned around, I complete the B reverse. Or I would, anyway, if it worked. That was supposed to be more impressive. Hold on. That's a side B. Come on, Donkey Kong, work with me. Oh. Struggle bus. Anyway, let me do this at full speed. There we go. So I'm facing him, but I can still wave bounce down special. It's just so hard on a Pro Controller. I don't have any notches. Notches make this easier. Ha ha ha, funny move. There we go. Dude, why is this so hard? Dude, I'm struggling. Let me pin it on the training wheels. There we go. Yeah, I did it at half speed. So obviously there's some room for improvement on my end. But, like, you have to understand, like, this thing in particularly, wave bouncing down specials, is like the most difficult and technical application of this technology. It literally doesn't get harder than wave bouncing down specials. Like, the engine just doesn't like them. It's convoluted. Anyway, I have reached the end of my content. Thank you for watching. Hopefully everybody had a good time. I will see everybody not next week because we have Thanksgiving break, but the week after I'm sure I'll probably get one more in before the year's over. And this weekend at Sabotage, because we met a entry incentive, I will be doing another lesson on Sunday right before Top 16 start. Does anybody have any questions before I finish for the evening in the space? Anybody? Okay, open it up to the floor if anybody's watching. If anybody's watching the stream and they have any questions about kind of what we've been talking about. Because again, like, I didn't really recite the paragraphs of blurb that explain what these ideas are. I just wanted to talk about like how to do them, what it looks like, and a practice routine so that you understand how to get better at them and recognize what they are visually. Okay, that's going to go ahead and do it. Thank you for showing up. Have a nice evening, everybody.